Welcome to the video. Before we begin, if not already, please take a moment to subscribe. It helps out the channel a lot. And click the bell icon to receive notifications when I upload. Comment your little heart out. And most of all, please enjoy. Now back to the video.
Humans have always kept busy with their own lives, never realizing we are watching.
Yeah, we see it all, man.
They have no clue that intellects vast and cool and unsympathetic regard Earth with envious eyes.
Yeah, envy ain't healthy, man.
Shut it! I'm narrating.
This is War of the Worlds. Ugh. Does anyone have any hand sanitizer? We begin with the soothing tones of Morgan Freeman telling us how aliens have been watching us.
No shit, Sherlock.
Humanity's head is too far up its own planet to know there are dark forces out to get us. Tom Cruise is Ray, a big crane operator. He's here trying to lift his own ego. There, only 8 more to go. Yabba dabba doo. He won't work overtime because he follows union regulations, and nobody wants to piss off the union, right? But traffic laws are for people who aren't Tom Cruise. Divorced, he's living the cool single life. A little self-absorption is fine and even adorable when you're Tom Cruise. He's also the world's greatest dad. He's got the kids for the weekend. His son Robbie hates him, his daughter Rachel tolerates him. He hasn't been around, so he's practically a stranger to his own kids. Except this one. This one isn't his. Ray is just not equipped to feed children, unless they like beer and mustard. Please don't leave me with these monsters. I was really looking forward to dancing in my underwear later.
In the wake of a series of freakish lightning storms,
The TV news foreshadows stuff happening in other parts of the world. Be patient, it's coming. Ray hardly knows his own kids, but bless his heart, he still tries.
You're an asshole. Hate coming here.
Robbie takes the car without permission because he'd rather be anywhere else. That really weird storm from the news appears.
That is so weird.
What?
The wind is blowing toward the storm.
Because this storm sucks.
Rachel, want to see something cool?
Are you ready to meet Lord Xenu? Stand right there. Love you, sweetie.
It's not gonna hit there again. Okay, because lightning doesn't strike twice in the same place.
You know lightning rods are a thing, right?
Are you okay?
The power goes out along with the phones, cars, and cheap watches. There's an EMP, that's electromagnetic pulse to non-nerds, that knocks out electronic devices. Robbie returns carless. Oh, that son of mine. First, some helpful advice to a nearby mechanic.
Start is fright. You got any idea what's going on?
I'm on my way to find out. Try changing the solenoid.
Aren't you the mechanic? Ray goes into town to get his car back and check out the new lightning hole. God must have really wanted those Ninja Turtles dead. In the original George Pal movie, it ended at a church. Spielberg begins at one. These people really are not running as fast as they should. The ground literally unscrews to reveal a giant alien machine. I just love this part. The reveal is so epic and awe-inspiring, and he looks so cool. And a friendly little toot of his horn. That is such an epic sound. It's bone-chilling, intimidating, and fear-inducing. It's much better than the sounds they almost went with. Which do you like better? Vote in the comments.
Anyway, I started blasting.
I didn't know Nokia made camcorders. The alien machine, let's just call them Martians. They're not Martians, but let's just call them Martians. Blast everyone with a heat ray that instantly vaporizes the water in their bodies. This is dark for Spielberg. I know he doesn't just do family films, but I was not ready for this level of carnage. Look at the anguish on this woman's face at the last instant. Ugh, chilling. And now it's time for Run, Tom Cruise, Run. Ray makes it back home, and explanations are in order.
What happened?
Dad, what's the matter?
Eventually. You know, you should play with your Tom Cruise more often. He just gathers dust when you just leave him in the closet like that. Okay, kids, road trip. They pack a few supplies, a gun, and jack the van that was fixed with Ray's suggestion.
Not my car. Not your car. What are you doing? Get out.
Doesn't anyone listen anymore? They get away just in time. This shot is amazing. It still holds up. And it helps to have a minivan-sized path cut all over the place, even when cars have been conking out left and right. Ray tries explaining the situation to two screaming kids and see if you would do any better.
I want mom.
Yeah, I know. You.
I want mom.
Yeah? Tell me about it, you know?
I want mom!
I bet right now Ray is thinking back to his single days. They get to his ex-wife's house so Rachel can finally see her mom. Because if this went on any longer,
Really driving. I know that. That's
Ray might have turned around and driven straight at the Martians. Nobody home, they probably went on to her mother's in Boston. At least they have power and peanut butter. They have the world's most awkward dinner, and we see just how little Ray knows the kids.
maybe a little
I'm
blackjack.
allergic to peanut butter.
Since when?
Birth.
I'm not hungry either.
I know this is a dramatic moment, but I can't stop watching the peanut butter slide down that window. It's like a wacky wall walker. They bed down in the world's nicest basement.
No more talking, okay?
It's me, Rich.
No
Be a
more
little
talking.
nicer to me.
Uh-oh, Ray had it with their bitching. Oh, my bad. Things aren't peaceful for long. Did Adam Levine stub his toe out there? I hope it's something I can outrun. Luckily, the basement has its own basement.
Are we still alive?
No. The next morning, Ray checks out the freaking jumbo jet that crashed on the porch. Sucks, that was a nice house, too. You can probably still see the set on the Universal Studios tour, just a block from the Psycho House. He runs into a news reporter who fills in some exposition.
Those machines come up from under the ground, right? So that means they must have been buried here a long time ago.
A jumbo jet crashes into the house, yet manages to miss the minivan and not burn everything to the ground. The kids are probably just being kids, but that doesn't make them any more helpful in this situation.
If we had any balls, we go back there and find one of those things and kill it.
Gotta go to the bathroom.
Now go pee. The fall corpse migration. Beautiful. Finally, some action. Robbie wants to join the soldiers and put them all at risk by being a burden.
Wait, stop! Let me on!
He just wants to put all that first-person shooter experience to good use. I gotta admit, you're not making this any harder. Later, they lose their car to a hostile mob. Okay, fuck these people. Who needs Martians? We'll do it ourselves.
I'm taking the car.
You know, Robbie, if you had any balls, you'd go out there and get our car back. Oh, cool, we can take the train. Oh, maybe not. Then they walk to the ferry where they meet some friends for like a minute. This adds nothing, and it feels like a pointless sidetrack. I wonder if they cut her character? Their sole purpose here is to be left behind when the tripods attack. Speaking of which, guess who?
Yeah!
The ferry has to leave, but it's not like they can just burn rubber out of there. They got nitrous on that thing? The aliens no longer seem interested in just incinerating people, and now they're bobbing for people. They still do torch people, leaving their clothes behind. Hey, see if you can find something in my size. Yay, the military! And Robbie still has soldier boy fantasies. As if a screaming kid is gonna be useful, besides actual trained soldiers, but Ray lets him go, and now he's gone. Yeah, they can't hurt the machines because they have shields, though not as strong as the plot armor surrounding this family. You weren't expecting a Spielberg movie to have so many hot Hummers. Ray and Rachel take refuge in the basement of Harlan, played by Tim Robbins.
You alright?
Sing me a lullaby and good night.
You never close your eyes anymore when I kiss your lips. You're trying hard not to show it, baby.
But baby, believe me, I know that you lost that love and feeling. Oh, that love and feeling.
That was the worst lullaby I ever heard. Harlan's an interesting guy.
They buried him since before there were even people here.
Yet somehow no one's ever dug one up with all our subways, sewers, and strip mines.
You know the people that make it right? It's the ones that keep their eyes open.
Okay, so he's a bit off his rocker, but at least he's good conversation. But they're in the Martian backyard, and Harlan's brought them into the middle of it. Ever see red vines growing wild? It's so much fresher than store-bought. Now is not the time to argue loudly. An alien colonoscopy drops in. Just relax, it'll only hurt a little.
I'm a robot snack. No, turn left. Let me drive, will ya? Just go. Fine.
Lop that robot foreskin right off. No, he'll lose sensitivity.
Hey, good looking. Come around often? I amuse me.
This is just to make sure the coast is clear for the little dudes. Drink our water. It's barely healthy for us. Are you telling me this nutball didn't keep this shotgun loaded? Enjoy a 12-gauge glory hole. Ray won't let Harlan shoot, probably just bring more of them down here. I see the vast Martian Kool-Aid farm is coming along nicely, and we finally see what they wanted to do with all these people. They got a lot of juice out of that one guy. Harlan's out of there. He thinks he can tunnel to, I don't know, China, but he's being very noisy about it. To keep him quiet, Ray's got to liberate some thetans. Wow, I really needed that. I don't know why I didn't do that more often. He just dropped like a sack of potatoes. I really enjoyed that. Anyone else who want me to kill? Nobody likes waking up to being watched.
Mama!
Rachel runs outside and gets captured. Ray finds a military vehicle with some grenades. He gets captured on purpose to go after Rachel, and gets thrown in with the other prisoners. Wow, this is the quietest she's been the entire time. Let's savor this. The Claw chooses Ray, but he's got backup this time, and not before leaving a couple grenades in the machine's butthole. Well, that's what it looks like. That's a butthole.
Everybody down!
Hooray!
Ocean!
Anyone not impaled on a branch, help the others.
Finally arriving at Boston, things seem to be less vibrant. The vines are dying. So I forgot to water them, sue me. The machines seem to be going down. Their shields are inactive, so the army can finally take a shot. Funny how it takes a civilian to point this out. So they shoot one down. When you tell her, you make memes. And we meet the driver, who's not wearing a mask.
Anyone got any ivermectin?
Ray finally gets to his mother-in-law's house, where the ex is waiting, as are her parents, played by Ann Robinson and Gene Barry, who starred in the 1953 film. And Robbie. You've got to be kidding me. Bye kids, I'll see you in 2 weeks. Turns out the Martians were no match for our cooties. We have some pretty hardcore stuff down here. And that begs the question, did they bring any of their own microbes down here? Get ready for COVID 1000, and that was War of the Worlds. Of course, based on the H.G. Wells book, which went on to infamy in the Orson Welles radio play, as well as the 1953 George Pal sci-fi classic, this movie, and numerous other interpretations. War of the Worlds always serves a view of an invasion from the non-invader's side. Originally taking place in Victorian England, the story was modernized to the current time, in the current superpower that's also no stranger to colonization. Not so much fun on the other end, is it? Tom Cruise is somewhat out of his comfort zone here for most of the movie. He starts out as the self-absorbed big kid, but he's quickly worn down to an unsure, terrified father trying to do his best. The family checks all the dysfunctional check marks. Divorced, check. Kids hate dad, check. Dad forced on road trip with kids that hate him, check. Dad knows nothing about kids, check. The aliens are never referred to as Martians in the movie, and we're pretty sure it's because Matt Damon killed them all, so their origin is never really explained. They just tower above, from our perspective, from ground level, and that makes everything scarier. The movie's told through Ray's eyes. Okay, somebody has to say it. The kids were annoying. Not knocking their performances, but their characterization was what it was. You could call it a polar response to kids who are way too precocious and mature for their age, just too clever and smart, just unrealistic. At least in a situation like this, where most kids, and probably most adults, would be reduced to a shrinking, blubbering mess faced with an alien attack.
You know, that's good to know.
So you have realistic kid reactions, but the trade-off is this.
I know that. That's where we're going right now.
I get it. I love Dakota Fanning. She's incredibly talented, and she's extra adorable in this, but at times she's a bit much. Let's just say she's really good at it. The effects are impressive, and they still look really good. The creature designs are sufficiently alien and creative. The tripods are especially cool and menacing, and the heat ray effect is just vicious, and I love the sound. No, the real one. Yeah. There are some really tense moments that grab you. This part still reminds me of Jurassic Park, but it's still really gripping.
We are ready. I didn't get my booster shot yet. Are you trying to get us sick?
There are a few points in the story that rely on just dumb luck. The van-sized path clear across town, Ray being correct about fixing the van, a jumbo jet crashing without hurting the van and still leaves another van-sized path through the wreckage, and they don't explain how the son survived, but doesn't really matter. I'm not one to call for the death of a kid, but going from this to this without a scratch on him just cheapened the whole thing. From Ray's perspective, he hadn't lost anything but a house and a sweet car. This could have been a gut punch, but it went for the soft tap. I know Mr. Spielberg can do heartbreaking. I'm not crying. You are. Shut up. This is the worst choice of the movie. The stakes meant nothing. War of the Worlds is 3.5 Bs. The visuals are excellent, some really tense moments. The single perspective really brings the movie down to a personal level. The family drama is the weak spot. The kids are too annoying at times, and the constant conflict doesn't make anyone look particularly appealing. And the dysfunction just kinda got old after a while. And the son's survival at the end just made me throw my hands in the air. Thank you so much for watching. Like, subscribe, comment the bell, you know, the usual YouTube stuff. This is theNewBee, and I'll see you later, kids. Toodles!